I have to tell you, now I have to tell you another story. I gotta tell you one last story.
Story time.
There was a companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His name was Julaybi. Say his name? Julaybi. Listen. His name was Julaybi radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Okay? Now here's the thing about Julaybi. The scholars have explained him radiallahu ta'ala anhu to be a person who was very diminutive. Basically, he was a dwarf, very short, radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Okay, his skin was very black, and his limbs were very, very small. And most of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, they didn't spend much time with him. They accepted him as a companion of the Prophet ﷺ, but nobody really liked to hang out with Julaybi. When they had a big ghazawat, a battle, Julaybi was killed. And the Prophet ﷺ said, go out there and see, there's somebody very special out there in the battlefield, go and see. So the companions, they went out there, they looked everywhere. No Prophet of Allah, we don't see anybody. We don't see nobody out there. He said, no, there's somebody very special out there. Very, very special. And they went out, they looked again, no, we don't see nobody special, nobody of any significance. The Prophet ﷺ went out and he brought the body back of Julaybi in his arms like this. He was so beloved to the Prophet ﷺ. And there's another story about Julaybi too that we can tell. That Julaybi, and Imam, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm mixing my stories, that Julaybi married one of the most beautiful women in Medina. Out of the, how do you say, the recommendation of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ went to this particular family and said, I want to ask permission to marry your daughter. But the family was so happy, the father was so happy. He said, MashaAllah! Wow, my daughter marrying the Prophet of Allah. He said, no, it's not for me, it's for Julaybi. The father said, ooh. Well, we have to go to the big boss and ask her, the mom. So they went to the mom and said, the Prophet wants to ask the hand of our daughter. She said, Allahu Akbar, this is great news. He said, no, it's not for the Prophet ﷺ, it's for Julaybi. She shuddered and said, oh, I don't know about that. You have to maybe ask the daughter. So they wanted to keep the secret away from the daughter. But the daughter, being young and intelligent, she overheard her parents talking. And her parents didn't want her to marry Julaybi because he's a person who, in the society and the status, people consider him very low life. Okay, but he's a Muslim. And a Muslim is sacred in the eyes of Allah and should be in the eyes of every single Muslim. What they call the tahrim of the hurramat. The sanctity of the Muslim is so precious. That's why we should never be fighting or arguing with each other, because we all take our head and put it where? On the ground. So we're what? Worshippers of Allah. So Julaybi, when the daughter heard, she came up and she said, what? The Prophet of Allah, he wants me to marry Julaybi? Then I trust him. And she married Julaybi, and Julaybi got martyred a little while after that. And mashallah tabarakallah, you know, his story is so beautiful. And the Prophet ﷺ loved him so much, and he told us to love him so much. So here's someone that if you were to look at him, and I met a Muslim in Kitchener, what I knew maybe about 2 years ago, a brother, maybe he's a brother from Africa, maybe he's about this tall, a 46 years old brother, he's about this tall, comes up to here, I'm lucky man, he comes up to about this high, maybe like 3 feet tall, and he's only this big. He comes, he has his little kufi on, okay, he has a little cane about this big, and he has, something's wrong with his foot. Allah created his foot in a way that, when he walks, he has to walk like this coming to the masjid. Okay? But every time I go to the masjid for Jummah, and I go to Hamilton maybe 4 or 5 times, this little brother, and he reminds me of the story of Julaybi, when you see him in the salah, he's only about this big, inside this chair. And he's a great worshiper of Allah. Doesn't miss any salat. So now my question comes, when the angels of death, when they come to take your soul, do they care if you're tall like Shaquille O'Neal, and you're a big powerful man, and this and that, and you don't love Allah? So Julaybi was a great worshiper of Allah. And this man, this brother, he's a great worshiper of Allah. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ said that Allah, he does not look to your shapes and your sizes, but he looks to your deeds and your intentions, or your intentions in your heart. So we shouldn't look at each other and say, this person's no good, they're not cool, they're not pretty, he has boogers, she has zits. We shouldn't be doing that. Because Allah, it's okay, brother, if you have some boogers. It's okay. Allah just only looks at what's in your heart. Allah is not impressed with, sister, how beautiful your eyes are. Allah is not impressed by how big and strong your six-pack is and your muscles on your arms. Allah doesn't care about none of that. He wants to know about something called ikhlas. Ikhlas. What is ikhlas? Anybody can tell me what ikhlas is? This is the end of the class. What is ikhlas? Ikhlas. Ikhlas. وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. And they've only been commanded to be sincere to Allah's religion. Can anybody here look in anybody's heart here and say, he's sincere, she's sincere, he's not sincere, she's not sincere? Can anybody do that? No. Imam, can you look in my heart and see that I'm a sincere person? Or I'm not sincere? Only Allah knows. Only Allah knows who's sincere. So with that, brothers and sisters, inshallah ta'ala, I hope maybe one day I can come back again. If the show of hands, you think maybe one day I should come back again?
Yeah.
Should I come back and visit you guys again?
Tomorrow.
You can't come back tomorrow because I'm sick now.
You can reach my house.
My voice is gone. So I should come back and visit you guys again?
Yeah.
Alright, so it's been a pleasure for me, guys. It's been a pleasure for me, guys, to come and visit you guys. And I like to thank Imam Bilal, Imam Umar for inviting me. And inshallah ta'ala, if you guys are interested, my name is Abu Shahada. You can go on YouTube. I have maybe like 500 videos on there. My most famous video is, one of them is called The Evil of the Hip Hop Culture. Another one is called Gangsters Before Islam. And there's another one called Facebook Fitna Book. I got lots of videos.
Can you visit one of them?
No. Okay, any quick 1-2 questions? Yeah. No, you have to get 10 out of 10. No. So,
Yes, try to support us, but not giving us anything.
this is asking a question. Say it again.
When and how did you start getting interested in this and decide to?
Yo, it was an interesting story.
That's a class. That's a class. But it's online. You can go there, type in Seeds of Society. It's called My Story to Islam, Abu Shahada. Called Seeds of Society. That's you. Yeah, sister.
Can you put me one of your videos?
Say it again. Say it again.
Can you include me in one of your videos?
No. I don't include any women in my videos because my wife, she's very dangerous. My wife,
She's not a woman.
she is. My wife, she has a black belt in Taekwondo. But she married a hockey player. So here's the thing you guys don't know about me. When I was playing hockey, I split my head here on the ice, right here. If you look closely,
There's a mark.
there's a big bone there. I split my head open and my skull busted open and lots of blood came out. And I got 37 stitches here. I got hit with the hockey stick and I got one tooth knocked out right here. My lips were born like this. My son has the same mark. It's hereditary. My great cousin has it too. I got cut here on the board, so I have my scars. My wars of the war. Mashallah.
Okay, I think quickly take attendance. Abdul Rahim,
Yeah.
Sami, Roshukur, Ayman, Ali Ibrahim, Amir Ahmed, Amir Nouri, Angela, Anud, Anwar.